The Alchemy of Pain, How to Transform Suffering into Wisdom. What if I told you that your pain is not a curse, but an encrypted message from your soul? That the most painful moments of your life contain the seeds of your future wisdom? In 2022, Stanford neuroscientists made an amazing discovery. People who consciously work with their emotional pain demonstrate 60% higher neuroplasticity of the brain. Today, I will reveal to you an ancient sacred process of transforming suffering into strength, a method used by Sufi mystics, Tibetan lamas, and ancient philosophers. The first law of spiritual alchemy states, "What is not killed does make you stronger, but only if you work with it correctly." Imagine that your soul is a huge library, and each pain is a special book on one of its shelves. Some of these books you diligently avoid, wrap them in black cloth, lock them with a key. But it is these forbidden volumes that contain the most valuable knowledge about yourself. Modern psychology confirms what mystics have known for centuries. Unlived pain does not disappear. It crystallizes in our body, becoming muscle clamps, in our psyche, turning into fears and limiting beliefs, in our energy, creating blocks and stagnation. A study by Harvard Medical School, 2021, showed that 78% of chronic diseases have a direct correlation with unprocessed emotional trauma. Let's do a little experiment. Close your eyes and remember, what pain haunts you the longest? Where in your body does it live? What image, color, texture does it have? Perhaps it is a heavy lead ball in the solar plexus area, the pain of unrequited love, sharp glass fragments in the palms, the pain of betrayal, black viscous resin enveloping the heart, the pain of loss. In the Native American tradition, there is a ritual of conversation with pain. The shaman teaches, when pain comes, do not drive it away. Invite it to the fire, feed it, ask why it came. Let's begin our process of alchemical transformation with 3 fundamental steps. First, sacred recognition. Unlike modern psychology, which often suggests letting go or overcoming pain, ancient traditions teach us to accept and humanize it. Practice. Find a quiet place, light a candle. Visualize your pain as a being. Ask it 3 questions. What is your name? When did you first come to me? What service do you bring me? Write down the answers that come. Do not filter them. Second, cartography of suffering. Each pain has its own geography in your personal history. Take a piece of paper and, first, draw a line of your life. Second, mark the 5 most painful moments on it. Third, for each, write, what decision did you make about yourself / the world then? How does this decision affect you now? Example, event. The teacher said I was hopeless at math. Solution, I'm not good at the exact sciences. Current influence, avoiding financial responsibility. Third, alchemical diary. Medieval alchemical treatises describe the process of nigredo, blackening, disintegration of matter before transformation. Your task, keep a shadow diary for 7 days, where you describe your pain in colors. Look for its mirrors in your current life. Record your bodily reactions. For example, today I felt the familiar pain of rejection again when a colleague did not include me in a project. I felt a cold in my chest and a desire to shrink. I remembered how my father ignored my childhood achievements. What if your pain is not just a memory, but a living entity embedded in your DNA? Research in the field of epigenetics has proven that the traumatic experiences of our ancestors can influence our behavior through molecular marks on our genes. But today I will show you a method that allows you to rewrite this ancient program, a technique used by intelligence agencies to recode the consciousness of agents. Are you ready for an operation to extract pain anchors? There's a paradox. The longer we carry pain within ourselves, the more it becomes a part of our personality. We begin to identify ourselves with it. I am a person who has experienced betrayal. I am a victim of injustice. Neuroscientists call this traumatic identity, when neural pathways of pain become the main highways of our thinking. Phenomenon of phantom pain. Surprisingly, after amputation, 80% of people continue to feel phantom pain in the missing limb. In the same way, we can feel pain for years from relationships that no longer exist, from losses that happened decades ago. Practice mapping phantoms. First, Take 3 sheets of paper of different colors. Second, on the red one, draw the contours of your current identity. Who am I? Third, on the blue one, mark the areas where you feel phantom pain. Fourth, on the green one, create a new contour without these phantoms. Anchor splitting technique, adapted from SERE methods. The military survival program SERE, survival, evasion, resistance, escape, includes methods for reprogramming painful associations. Here is its civilian version. First, identify triggers. Make a list of 5 situations/images/smells that trigger your pain. Example, the smell of your ex-partner's cologne. The phrase you can handle it in a certain tone. The sight of a certain place. Second, neutralization. For each trigger, create an antidote. Change the context, the same cologne on another person. Distort the memory. Imagine the situation in a comic style. Create a new anchor, a pleasant smell plus a positive memory. Third, reboot, the 5 frames technique. 1. Remember a painful event. 2. Mentally take out all the emotions from it. 3. Reshoot the scene with a new ending. 4. Add a funny element, for example, everyone in clown noses. 5. Secure the new version with a bright visual symbol. Diary practice, dialogue with the shadow. Conduct a dialogue with your pain as with separate being for 7 days. Morning, dear pain, what do you want to tell me today? Evening, what new things did I learn about you today? How did you try to protect me? Case study, Anna, 34, after her husband cheated on her. Anchor, view of the sushi restaurant where the cheating happened. Work, 1. Change of context. Go to another sushi bar with friends. 2. Reshooting, presenting the situation as a bad movie. 3. New anchor, creating a ritual with a favorite dessert. Result after 3 weeks, neutral reaction to the trigger. Ancestral alchemy, transforming inherited pain. What if 70% of your fears and limitations are not yours? Research in the field of transgenerational memory shows that we inherit not only the color of our eyes, but also the unlived traumas of our ancestors. Today I will reveal the ancient technique of liberation of the ancestral lineage, which was taught in the secret schools of Tibet and Kabbalah. You will learn to distinguish your pain from someone else's and turn ancestral curses into blessings. Are you ready to travel through the labyrinths of family memory? Main text. In 2013, Emory University scientists made a sensational discovery. Mice trained to fear a certain smell passes fear on to their grandchildren through epigenetic markers. Your inexplicable fears, irrational reactions, and unreasonable pains may be an echo of events that you have never experienced. Ancestral pain archetypes. First, exile, loss of home/homeland by ancestors. Fear of attachment. Second, victim, violence in the family. Hypercontrol. Third, debtor, financial disasters. Money blocks. Practice genogram of pain. Draw a tree up to 3 to 4 generations. Mark key traumas, wars, losses, betrayals. Find parallels with your reactions. Technique of the 4 elements of the family. First, earth excavations. Enter a state of light trance, meditation 5 minutes. Ask the question, what is the oldest pain that lives in me? Record the first image/word/feeling. Second, water purification. Write a letter to the ancestor who bore this pain. Dear, I see your pain from, I take only your strength. Burn the letter. Dissolve the ashes in running water. Third, fire transformation. Create an image of the protector, an archetype that was supposed to protect your family. Draw/sculpted symbol. Fourth, air anchoring. Come up with a family mantra based on the insights received. Example, strength flows in my blood, not fear. Diary practice, shadows of the ancestors. Conduct 7 days of observations. Which of your reactions are clearly exaggerated for the situation? What recurring scenarios are there in your family? What prohibitions/attitudes have been passed down from generation to generation? Case study. Maxim, 40 years old, panic attacks in the subway. Genogram revealed Grandfather died in a mine. Work. Create the image of the spirit of the earth as a protector. Ritual. Mentally put on miner's armor before going down into the subway. Result. Attack stopped after 2 months. Errors in working with ancestral memory. First, attempts to erase all ancestral pain. This is part DNA. Second, condemnation of ancestors strengthens a connection. Third, playing the savior of the family, taking on their debts. But what to do when the pain is not the past, but you're present, when you are in the very epicenter of suffering? In the final part, I will show the technique of alchemists in the storm, how to carry out transformation when the world is collapsing around. 1. Make a list of 3 family scenarios. 2. Find one object symbolizing the family power. 3. Practice the technique of 4 elements with different ancestors. Alchemists in the storm, the art of transformation in real time. The truth that all spiritual teachers are silent about. Sometimes the pain is so strong that it turns any practice into mockery. When you lose a loved one, when the diagnosis sounds like a sentence, when the one you trusted as yourself betrays you, no affirmations work. Today I will show you the method of emergency alchemy, which can be used right in the epicenter of a disaster. A technique I developed while going through my own hell. If you're watching this video through tears, let's begin. There's a special kind of pain, a living wound, when suffering is not a memory, but beats in you like an open artery. At such moments, traditional systems fail. 3 laws of emergency alchemy. First, do not try to process a pain. Your task is to stabilize it first. Second, forget about spiritual concepts. Use only what works right now. Third, pain takes priority. If the technique increases suffering, stop immediately. 2. Anchor survival. Find one object in the room of a certain color. For example, everything blue. One sound, ticking of a clock, street noise. One tactile sensation, for example, the pressure of a chair on your thighs. Hold your attention on this triad for 90 seconds. 3. Breathing black forge. Inhale 4 seconds, hold 7 seconds, exhale 9 seconds. Repeat 5 cycles. When the acute phase passes, 3 to 7 days. Ritual ring of fire. 1. Take 5 candles, arrange them in a circle. 2. Put an object associated with pain in the center. 3. For each candle, say, Candle 1, I acknowledge this pain. Candle 2, I thank her for the lesson. Candle 3, I return to myself what I gave to pain. Candle 4, I forgive all participants in this story. Candle 5, I accept a new version of myself. Diary practice Chronicles of the Phoenix. Every day write down 1. One physical symptom and its location. 2. One illogical action that you want to do. 3. One absurd question to your pain. Example: if you were the weather, what would you be like? Case study: Elena, 29, lost a child. Day 1, only the first aid protocol. Day 5, ritual of the baby booty in the ring of fire. Month 3, creating a memory garden with flowers that should have bloomed on the day of birth. Final technique, remelting time. First, take 3 photographs. You before the injury. You at the most difficult moment you want to become. Second, create a collage where all 3 versions are holding hands. Third, write a letter from your future self to your current self. Final, alchemy is not magic to make pain disappear. It is the courage to face the darkness and find embers that can warm you. Your pain is not the end of your story, but its most powerful turning point. When you look in a mirror and see the scars, remember, each of them made your soul so unique that the universe will never create anything like it again.